We're live. Hold on. Boom. Gotcha. So, welcome to Comic Dads. Want to talk about it? Tonight, we're going to be getting into opinions and ideas. And do they shape your world and your mindset? So, we're going to be talking about that. Keep with us. And I'm going to get the intro in here. We'll be right back in just a second.
Everybody, yeah. I'm in the zone, energy grown. Truth on the line when the mic gets shown. Light through the dome, we spark in the tone. Deeper than convo when mindsets wrong. Crew by my side, no mask, no clones. We break cycles and cast these stones. Heart of a lion, calm of a sage. Every word therapy, life on the page. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores and the crew, we hold that ground. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores and the crew, we hold that ground. Stories bleed, but the healing's sweet. Real ones build when the real ones meet. Late night thoughts, what the world don't tweet. Turn mics to mirrors to the pain retreat. From Colleen to the dream, we shift that scene. Big talk, black love, afro sheen. No gimmicks, just growth, you can feel that steam. Every episode, another self-esteem. Wanna talk about it? It's all pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores in the crew, we hold that ground. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. It's all pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores in the crew, we hold that ground. Every voice got a reason. Every story got a spark. Welcome home. This is Wanna Talk About It with Commodores and the crew. Everybody, yeah. I'm in the zone, energy grown. Truth on the line when the mic gets shown. Light through the dome, we spark in the tone. Deeper than convo when mindsets wrong. Crew by my side, no mask, no clones. We break cycles and cast these stones. Heart of a lion, calm of a sage. Every word therapy, life on the page. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores and the crew, we hold that ground. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores and the crew, we hold that ground. Stories bleed, but the healing's sweet. Real ones build when the real ones meet. Late night thoughts, what the world don't tweet. Turn mics to mirrors to the pain retreat. From Colleen to the dream, we shift that scene. Big talk, black love, afro sheen. No gimmicks, just growth, you can feel that steam. Every episode, another self-esteem. Wanna talk about it? It's all pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores in the crew, we hold that ground. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. It's all pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Commodores in the crew, we hold that ground. Every voice got a reason. Every story got a spark. Welcome home. This is Wanna Talk About It with Commodores and the crew.
People, what is up? Chat board right now, so I can see what everybody's talking about. Make sure my stream is good. All right. Look at, I gotta fix that over there. I gotta get a better angle. Oh man. Let's see if I can get a better angle real quick. Thank you, thank you. It is cold in Central Texas. If you are in Central Texas, hope you are warmed up, wrapped up. And as you see, I am. Most definitely I am, because it gets cold out here. Gotta bring back the ground. What? Gotta bring back ground. Gotta bring the background music down. Got you. Well, that was just for the intro. I had to let it finish playing out. I wanted to let it finish playing out, but I think it's good. Is it good? Are we good now? We good now? I think we're good now. Let me check on my end. Sounds good to me. Oh, I see it's still playing. Oh, wow. Why is it still playing? Let me get there. Check with mine. Sounds good to me. Every story got a spark. Boom. Oh, I see this show playing. That should be it right there. Let me get there. Check with mine. Sounds good to me. Boom. Yep, that's it. Got it. I see this show playing. Okay. Thank you. Because last time I think I went like 30 minutes with the background music and the audio, my vocals, and that threw the whole episode off. I had to do a quick what do you call it? Like a refresher episode, pretty much. So again, tonight we're gonna be talking about opinions and ideas and how those opinions and ideas actually affect you and reflect what you do in your life and your mindset. And again, we're following this idea of powers and principalities, how we do not fight against flesh and blood, right? So following that idea of flesh and blood, humans, people, right? People have ideas and opinions, and they enforce these ideas and opinions using the powers and the principalities. So we discussed the powers already. That was a few episodes back. I don't think we did principalities yet. We're going to get to that. But I did want to get to the ideas and opinions before I kind of got to principalities, right? Let me get this here. So if you're like me and you're like a big thinker, and you kind of follow the rabbit hole in these things, and you do partake, get your stuff going. We're gonna get going here, right? Let me pull up my chat with GPT because that's where my notes are at. I have that where is my chat? Where's that? I guess I do a regular search. I got it on my phone, but I'm using my phone as a camera right now, so that wasn't a good idea at all. In fact, I got the tablet right here. I just switch screens real quick. And I'm sorry, y'all, I was going to do the interview tonight, but I guess I'm having to reschedule. It is freezing outside. I think it dropped to like 19. All right, so I got my notes pulled up here. Get it typed in. And I do have an executive producer now who will be running all the background stuff for me. Again, with the freezing outside, he'll probably be with me next week. Why can't I spell this shit right? Man, come on now. Sorry, this is not reading my fingers right. That's this new technology. They used to read my fingers right, not anymore. All right. So now, what is an opinion? Let's start. I think we covered that a few weeks ago as well. An opinion is basically a belief that someone forms based off of their life experience, and their life experience, right? And ideas are kind of the same thing, but people more or less shape their opinions based off of their ideas. But I am going to pull up those exact definitions as soon as I get this dang word spelled right. I don't know how that came up. Okay. I know I'm spelling it right. It keeps hitting different buttons over here and it's slowing me up, messing up my flow. Here we go. So I think last week we actually talked about superpowers and how you could develop your innate abilities in order to use your power. And a power was something that you use in order to influence something, right? So all of this is really under the scope of influence. And getting there, I got my note. Like I have the format in my mind how I want to approach this, but I want to make sure I'm doing this in the way it should be delivered right here. All right, here we go. So an idea is a possibility. It's a way of interpreting reality. Again, a lot of people's opinions are shaped by their ideas, how they view reality, right? All right, let me get my camera angle. Let me go over here. Boom. All right, so ideas are essentially neutral unless somebody is able, is they or there's unless there's a power to put that idea into action, right? And they are exploratory. Some ideas are just that, ideas. Think of your theories and theses, right? So a lot of people are like, gravity doesn't exist. Well, gravity is just a theory of gravity. It's an idea based off of mental exploration of reality that we experience every day, right? And also, ideas don't demand loyalty, right? But the person implementing the idea or pushing the idea may demand loyalty to the idea, or to not even necessarily to the idea, to the person implementing the idea. And those are some of the areas where we run into problems, right? Oh, hitting the wrong button. So we get down to what is an opinion? An opinion is an idea you've accepted as true. Again, you can't form your opinion without an idea to sit that opinion on as your baseline. So opinions, oftentimes are personal and they feel personal. It's something that you feel up in here, right? It's based off of your life experiences and what you've been through. Opinions also guide behavior, right? Bigotry, racism, prejudice. If my opinion of you isn't very high, then you probably won't get the best treatment. That's just what it is, right? And opinions also resist challenge because if it's my opinion, how can you tell me the life I've lived, right? So those are the things that we run into with ideas and opinions. So when we talk about powers and principalities, which we will get to principalities, we'll be really talking about how people have pushed their ideas and opinions in order to influence people toward their idea or their opinion, right? So ideas and opinions. How do ideas become opinions? And that's really what we're getting at with this episode, how they kind of feed each other, right? So the repetition is what you hear often. A lot of times you feel is true. So if somebody's repeatedly expressing their opinion. Like take for example in single parent households, a lot of time it's told that the mother or the single parent, the one that is hurt the most, says expresses their opinion around the children a lot more freely than let's say the one who's not around the children or who is more accepting of the current dynamic, right? So after years of hearing, repeated opinionated expressions of the other parent, the children a lot of times take on these opinions that the other parent was espousing, right? So we take on other people's opinions that way, in our friend groups. And we talked about this with one of the guys in the group, the podcast group on Facebook. You get these zones of influence. Your friends also can be a zone of influence, but also again, it depends on what type of your level of sovereignty. right? So you could take on the ideas and opinions of your friends. You can take on the ideas, opinions of, the wider social atmosphere, which is what we see happening a lot of times with the fear mongering and the terrorizing that we experience through social media, news outlets, and influencers sometimes, right? Even not even sometimes, a lot of times, right? It depends on where you are in your sovereignty and your mindset. And then also emotion. Again, if you experience this, then it's an emotion a lot of times that your experience ties to in order to make it stick, or else you really don't remember the experience. It doesn't feel like an experience. It just feels mundane, everyday, nothing, right? So check the chat here. Ooh, all my messages are gone. I don't know why it does that. They were there. Live chat, we did that. Yeah, they're all, I don't know. That's weird. Oh, there they go. The weather is supposed to be worse around 2 and 3 o'clock this morning if you're in Central Texas. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's not an opinion, that's fact. But yeah, your opinions and ideas are tied to your emotions. So if you have, a repeated bad experience, then you're probably going to have, a bad opinion or an unfavorable opinion towards that experience. And let's say objectively, through like the lens of racism, that's why I tell people I can understand racism as a human mechanism, right? Not justifying it, I understand where it can come from. Because if you can breed you can breed these opinions into generations, right? Like, so my son doesn't have to experience something that I tell him every day of his life is going to be bad for him. Now, there's also, it's teenage rebellion, but, typically with ideas and opinions like that, unless there's significant counter forces, that's typically what, those coming up behind us that are in our field of influence, that's what they pick up, right? So a lot of times it's also community reinforcement. So, like in our community, you know, the phrase is black people aren't a monolith, or white people aren't a monolith, or Asian people aren't a monolith, right? But a lot of times the image or the perception is so ingrained or consistent across time that you do become a monolith. So when you do express yourself differently than what is expected, right, you're kind of breaking the norm. You're breaking out of someone's idea or the opinion that they had you in, right? So we got to be mindful of where we're perceived in people's ideas and what opinions they have of us. Not to say that we should live our lives based off of these things, but we should be mindful that these things are going on. So, and we also attach to these ideas as if they were actually our ideas, right? Or actually a part of us. And a lot of times they're not a part of us. A lot of times they're a part of, uh, let's say, emotional scar tissue. Again, that experience, right? And that might be too negative of a connotation, emotional scar tissue. Let's go with uh, emotional calibration, right? Because if you have a lot of good moments, you're not going to be, attuned to negative moments, right? That's why I wanted to change the wording up there a little bit. But yeah, again, so you're tying these opinions and these ideas to your emotions, more so the opinions than the ideas, because the ideas a lot of times are more founded with more repeatable by other people, right? You can test your ideas against other people's ideas and see what idea kind of reigns supreme. But opinions, again, to being tied to your emotions, it's starting to come down out there. But if it's tied to your emotions, they're a little bit harder to be dissuaded or be challenged, right? And that's why I always tell people I know I'm hard to be dissuaded, but if you bring logic and ethics and things of that nature, I have no choice but to go with where the logic goes. That's just me. I understand not everyone operates that way. A lot of times, life experience will convince you against the logic of something. And again, human experience, understandable. I understand it. Do I advocate it? No, no, I do not. Even for myself, when I run into it, right? Let me see. So next, we're gonna be talking about getting back to like the idea portion. So let's see. Let me take a look at this note. Right. So ideas, again, you can kind of bounce. They're more advanced than opinions because ideas, you actually, they're more intellectual. You bounce your ideas off of other people's ideas, other people's frameworks, to see if your idea holds up, with reality. And a lot of times we can, the information we receive, how we, perceive the world, a lot of times through our opinions and through our, experiences help shape our ideas. And our ideas, again, it's circular, help shape our opinions, right? But again, the idea is a little bit more intellectual because you life will kind of tell you when your idea is not working, right? Because you feel it. It's more visceral. It's more immediate as opposed to an opinion. Opinion, you know, depending, it's you're wearing shades, right? Like if you're wearing yellow colored shades, everything has a tinge of yellow to it. That's what opinion is, right? An idea is like, okay, let me try these yellow shades. Let me try these greens. Let me try these blue ones. Okay, which ones look better? Which one am I seeing more of reality? So ideas can be good, they can be bad, depending on how they're enforced, right? So that's why I asked at the start of the episode, what ideas do you think are running your life? What ideas are you creating your opinions off of? And what opinions are feeding your ideas, right? How often do you challenge your ideas? Like yourself, do you poke holes in your own ideas to see if they stand up to reality? These are the things that I think we should do. I know I personally do them. I constantly bang my ideas up against other people's ideas. I check other people's ideas and challenge them on their ideas, using my ideas to challenge them. Right? A lot of times, not even just my ideas, just logic, keeping a logical framework. Because that's where I kind of start my ideas, kind of start up a logical framework. Right? So a lot of times we have to question the ideas that are presented to us and kind of remove the emotion in order to formulate a proper opinion, right? We don't want an emotional opinion because that would steer us too much one way or the other. It's best to have a neutral, objective opinion. That'll get us closer to reality, right? That's when we can start to develop actual theories that are repeatable and universal across human experience, as opposed to just our own individual experience. And it would also help us better foster relations between each other. Like, I don't have to agree with you, right? But I can understand you. Do we have to have conflict in that disagreement? No, not all the time, right? Some people may agree with your idea, and I don't shame them for that. Again, I might disagree, but I'm not shaming people for agreeing to your idea, right? Because I believe everybody should kind of formulate their own ideas about life. But in doing so, I think they would fall upon very similar, if not the same idea on how to actually operate through life as a human being, right? Man or woman. So let me see what I have right here. Yeah, next time we're gonna be getting into power, right? And if y'all notice, I haven't really talked about the spiritual side of any of this because all of this, again, if you certain texts can be read a certain way, and I've chosen to bring the spiritual down to the human, as above, so below, right? So as we beef up here, they beef up there, and as they beef up there, we beef down here, right? Powers and principalities are not just spirits; they're also the people. People all have powers. People have powers, and they operate principalities through their ideas and their opinions. So next week we'll be getting to the principalities. You have a good one. Stay warm. This is Karmic Days. We talked about it. Next week we talk about it some more. Remember, dominate your day, and people are just people. Let's remember that. You have a good one. I'm out.
Yeah. I'm in the zone, energy grown. Truth on the line when the mic gets shown. Light through the dome, we sparking the tone. Deeper than convo when mindsets wrong. Crew by my side, no mask, no clones. We break cycles and cast these stones. Heart of a lion, calm of a sage. Every word therapy, life on the page. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Comateurs in the crew, we hold that ground. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, we talk about it. Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Comateurs in the crew, we hold that ground. Stories bleed, but the healing sweet. Real ones build when the real ones meet. Late night thoughts with the world don't tweet. Turn mics to mirrors to the pain retreat. From Colleen to the dream, we shift that scene. Big talk, black love, afro sheen. No gimmicks, just growth, you can feel that steam. Every episode, another self-esteem. Wanna talk about it? Wanna talk about it? Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Comateurs in the crew, we hold that ground. Wanna talk about it? Wanna talk about it? Soul, pain, truth, we gon' walk around it. Light in the dark, yeah, we found our sound. Comateurs in the crew, we hold that ground. Every voice got a reason. Every story got a spark. Welcome home. Yeah, just wanna talk about it. With Comateurs in the crew.